What is up, everybody? It is Tuesday, June 15th, 2021, and this is Monster Maverick Show. I'm your host, Neil. I am, along with my partner, Gerber. We run Deck 101, Deck 404. You've heard all about that in previous shows. So, if you have cards that you want to put to work, we can help you out. Which is interesting now, because I wanted to do that Ron Burgundy scene where he's like, "Well, that escalated quickly." So, obviously everybody knows who's here live in the chat, but if you're listening to this in the future, whether it be the far future or the near future, you might not know that over the past week, a lot has happened in the Splinterlands ecosystem. So, Untamed sold out, and it sold out. It sold out quickly. Last week when this show was recorded, we had like 120,000 packs remaining. Those were gone within like 3 days, maybe 4 days. I think we officially sold out sometime on Friday. Ron is saying he didn't get the dice airdrop. You complain to Yabba. First you gotta buy dice, and then you can go complain to Yabba. But Abigail Honey saying I was going to buy the last few packs. So yeah, I mean it was tough. I mean, things were going quickly, and then I think the minimum guarantee was 8, Ron, not 78. But yes, I am recording. Thank you for the reminders. I ever since Crimbot has been enabled to remind me, I have actually remembered without Crimbot's help. But it's only because the I know it's there. So yeah, it's Crimbot is great. I'm a big fan. So, DEC is rising, Untamed has sold out, Lands is sold out. It's just been, mania in Splinterlands. And at the same time, not at the same time, as a result of all that, prices are exploding. So if we go to the market cap, let's see, where is the SM Voter Hut? Let's do a market cap, open original. Oh, don't open over there, open over here. Brave, what are you doing? Okay, so you can see that, well, if you're watching the stream, you can see that we're at the all-time high, 22.091 million. And this is just Splinterlands cards. This doesn't count packs, it doesn't count lands, it doesn't count totems, it doesn't count all the other things in the ecosystem. This is just cards. So things are firing on all cylinders. And yes, the season just ended as I started the show. So, when Untamed was selling out, I was like, well, I've got a whole ton of cards. Do I really need any more? No. And I held off and I held off and I held off. When it got to like 10,000 packs remaining, and it was, Friday evening, I guess, I was like, okay, I gotta buy some more. So I pulled some Tether from a yield farm and I moved it over to Binance Smart Chain, and then I bought it, changed it over to BUSD, and I bought some credits, and then I bought some packs. So yeah, Paul wants to see my rewards. So yeah, so I have season rewards. I made it to Champ 2 this season, and I also have 990. Let's round that up and call it 1,000 packs remaining to open. So I thought maybe we could do that live, because opening a lot is fun. And a lot of people, I guess, don't have for here for the next couple months until Chaos Legion's released, nobody's going to have the opportunity to buy any more packs. But even then, not too many people buy packs in the quantities that I have. There are certainly a few. Crypto Eater buys a bunch of packs. Crypto Reaper as well. Zaku, of Yod and Zaku fame, buys a lot. He probably buys the most, actually. But opening 1,000 is kind of a rare treat, I would say. But yeah, so Rondon, posted the links. So you can watch the stream on all those channels. And yeah, how do I afford all those packs? Do I sell drugs? No, I do not sell drugs. I sell money, which is the easiest sell in the world. So, my main business is Tax Sherpa. We do tax planning, tax preparation, bookkeeping, all that thing. The most important element of all that is tax planning. That's the way I save you money, or I save my clients money. So what my job is a very easy sales process. I talk to someone, they describe their tax situation. I say, okay, we do these 5 things and you'll save $10,000. You're willing to pay me $2,500 for that? Yes? Great. There we go. You want to see me snort a whole pack on video? Yeah. Never get high on your own supply, PZ. I'm actually surprised this many people are here, because Aggrod's doing some kind of AMA on a Slack. I don't know what's going on over there. There was just this link dropped in announcements, but apparently there's a secret Slack. So Fat Jimmy, scroll up. The links there, MSP Waves, Vim, Theta from the Alien Honeybot. You click on those and then you'll be able to see. And yeah, but doesn't know what's going on with that either. That's great. Okay, but let's do some openings, right? And then we can get into all the market stuff. But you know, cards are fun. So if I go to battle, where's my season? Oh, there we go. That took a second. So I got 120 loot chests. So if you have a lower power deck and you're in like the bronze, silver, or gold leagues, I recommend that you level up your deck. Which I realize right as I'm telling you this is getting more and more expensive by the minute. But if you can, I recommend it because then you get 120, at least for Champ 2, you get 120 chests, which is pretty fun. And then, we click this reveal all and let's see what we get. And oh, I thought it was muted. So potions and deck or in DEC definitely need a sound instead of just the cards. But I love that card. 400 DEC, not bad. 250. 11, 15. Potion. Sandworm is always good. 299 Dark Energy. That's pretty good. Evangelist. Okay. Nothing fantastic, but, decent. And you can actually go to the Monster Market. Monstermarket.io has a lot of great little tools. And you can look at Analyze Rewards. So I can put in my name here. I have picture deck having a ding sound of some sort. Yeah, or like a mining crystal sound, something like that. I don't know. So let's see. Do myself. I don't need all the way back to the 8th. I just need today. Let's do 15. Analyze. Quest, battles, tournaments, whatever. Loading. Oh, come on. Yasik, you gotta make your stuff faster here. Let's do 10. Analyze. Well, theoretically, when this catches up, it would have the whatever I just opened, and it'll have, I think it comes under Quest DEC and burn value for the cards. It doesn't tell you the market value of those cards, but I can actually do that because the way I hold my cards, I hold my cards in one account and I play in a separate account. I originally did this in before the before the active key requirements existed. So it was just a security measure. So I have my holding account and then I have my playing account. My holding account delegates my cards to my playing account. So the cards that I play with are all delegated. So anything that's owned is just rewards, basically. So I made 288 in market price of, Kyokiz's season report card will also tell you that is true. I haven't run that very often. But so I made 288 in market value, and I made about $2,000 because I had 8,000 something at the start. So I made 2,000 DEC there. Okay, not bad. I'm going to be playing anyway, so I like to have the rewards. But that is not the big thing. So let's go to one of my other accounts and open some packs. So I need to log in and oops. Yeah. I always hate it when I misspell my own name. It's always frustrating. So here is the packs. And I went ahead and bought potions over the last couple days in order to open them. And I felt comfortable doing that because I checked the Splinter Cards pack calculator, and it has a really nice breakdown of of how the expected value of the cards or of the packs work. So, I've got Untamed, I've got 990, and both potions. Calculate. So I think this includes, so this includes a bonus calculation of another 200 packs. That's not quite right. Let's see, what do we need? Divided by 990, nope. Divided by That's a 15% bonus, so 990 times 0.85, 842. Let's try to calculate that. See if that works. 968, not quite. Let's bump it up to 850. 977. Okay. Splinter cards, you're killing me here. All right, that's close enough. So according to this calculator, I should come out with $3,500 worth of cards. So we'll see how close we get to that. So right now we're in Neil SPT. And so current value of this account is 1719. Okay, so from 1719, we're going to open 990 packs. And what we should end up with, if expected value holds true, as 5209. But let's find out. So we go to open multiple. 200 is the max, because I tried doing 300 and it gave me a quantity error, so I'm just going to do 200 at a time. So that's the max for this particular UI function. There is an open all command that I think still works, but you can do in the console, but I'm just going to do it through the user interface because I don't want to break anything, especially live and recorded, you know. So chunk, chunk, chunk. And, you know, it's pulling blockchain data. And like Yabba said when Ron was complaining, like technically, if you don't like what you get, you should complain to the witness that validated that particular block because, you know, it is blockchain data that's, you know, quasi-random that is input into the card generation function. So yeah, I do hate the art of the kitty, that is true, but it's a great card, so I will not sell it just because of that. Of course, the witness could be me. Yeah, but are you still number 2 on the witness list? I don't know. But let's hit reveal all, and hopefully we get some shaking cards, some gold, some legendaries, some gold foils. But it goes pretty fast, so keep your eyes peeled. Oh, shaking right off the start. My own design. I'm not dissing the kitty, it's a great card. It's just, I don't like the art. Oh, Jabba dropped a lot in witness rankings, man. Legendaries keep going. There's 5 kitties. That's really good. 5 kitties is like $300 right now. I'm making fun of the adorable art. I'm not making fun of it, I just don't like it. It's different. Ooh. 2 Zakus. Dragon Jumper. Diamond Dragon. Okay. Got some nice legendaries, you know, decent amount of gold foils, no GFLs. So yeah, Ron, you can buy yours for $300, and that'll work just fine. So that was round number 1. Let's do round number 2. See how close we get to $5,200 in market value before, well, you know, according to Peak Monsters. And I like the Peak Monsters market value the most. I know I've talked about that many times, but it is still true. Chauncey. Okay, that's good. Backdoor. 4 Cornelius. Very nice. You know, there are times when I wish I didn't open these potions because, you know, you actually underproduce the commons that you need. 3 Lobster Thomas. Alright. Still no GFLs. 400 packs in. Let's do another 200. Crypto Reaper still needs 3 golden foil Zakus. Yeah, I've got 1, so yeah, definitely need 3 more. You know, I'm at a bit of a loss of what to do with the things I have like 1 of, you know. Because, you know, I'm probably not going to max it out. Every time I see Magnar, I think of Trogdor. Trogdor the Burninator. Another kitty. 3 Aeons. D6. Long GFL. Regular Jotun, not a gold foil Jotun. Oh, ending on a legendary. Yeah, okay. What are these sounds? We're opening packs, Swoop. Check out the video stream. Watch the stream, yes. I'll even drop the links for you, because I know Swoop doesn't save anything. Right there. So second to last run. No GFLs yet. I'm a little sad. Oh, gold Lobsterdamus though. Lots of Dragon Jumpers, which is great. Mama. Magus. Mosa, two of those. Another Yogi. Ah, gold foil Dragon Jumper. First GFL. What are those going for? Phantom. I think it's the first Phantom we've seen. Alright. It's actually hard to hear me over the card opening. Well, sad story. Let's open the last batch and hopefully we get some goodies. Yell. I could always turn down the desktop audio. Let's do that. Let's try that. Reveal. Prove your music. Oh, gold foil Cornelius. Very nice. Sound effects are pretty loud. Yeah, it does seem like, compared to other websites, it does seem louder. Another gold foil Lobsterdamus. It's such a great name. Lear. Scale Doctor. Two Scale Doctors. Two kitties. Vigilator. Okay, so I think we had two GFLs altogether in, so Cornelius and a Dragon Jumper in that whole thing. So let's see what the market value ends up being. So we started at 1720, just gonna round numbers here, and we hit the refresh. Oh, a little bit under, $49.54. So about $300 underneath the expected value. But, you know, that does happen. Expected is only expected. Still, I'm pretty happy with all that. So, you know, what did I pay for those packs? I bought them in the, you know, the 575 bundles. So, let's see, 990 divided by 575. So 1.7 times 1,000. So I paid $1,700 for that, and I got, you know, basically not quite double my money, but pretty close. In what, 5 days? You know, whatever. Not even 5 days. 4 days that Untamed has been sold out. So that's not too shabby. Now the real question is, you know, turning those into DEC or turning those into, you know, other kinds of currency, because, you know, the market value is great and everything, but they are not spendable. Right? And I've got a lot of cards already. So, but, you know, some of these will come in for sale and some will go into my collection. You know, now that Untamed is finished, I have been looking a lot at my Untamed collection and trying to figure out what I'm going to do, really. And, you know, because of the potion openings skewing the odds on the commons, it has come out to be kind of weird. So I have, you know, I've got a max level deck of Untamed, you know, and then some. The question is how much and then some. So in some categories, I'll have 2 or 3 max level cards worth of BCX, but in a lot of commons, I've only got like 1.5 or 1.75. So the question is, do I round out the commons, or do I, just pare down to one max level deck? I don't know. This is a question I continue to ask myself even with alpha and beta. So alpha, I think I have 4 max level decks. I've got a ridiculous amount of alpha. I think I own like 3% of the entire alpha supply. Betas I have less of relatively, but I still got a whole lot of cards. And Untamed, so here you can see my commons. I've got like 729, a 717. Let's see, what do we got? Just wait, then it'll go up and sell extras. Well, that's the question, like which extras? So 704, 726. I've got a whole bunch of Goblin Thieves, and I think it's because I bought extra directly. There are a few cards that I went out into the marketplace and bought, manually rather than opening through packs. So like cards with Snipe and Sneak and Opportunity, those kind of cards, I went out intentionally and bought those. So like Mantoid, I've got 1,200 here. It's why did I recently sell a whole bunch of cards? Because to make money. That's pretty much it. A lot of these packs that I bought, I don't actually need the cards. So I'm just bought them, opening them, and selling them. And we'll see what the market will bear. So you can see that in most of my comments, I've only got I've got a little under 2 max level BCX. But in my rares, I like money. That's right. In my rares, I've got 2 to 3. So here's what I've pared down a little bit. 345. That's 3 max level Dark Astronomers. I do sell stuff pretty cheap. I'm not like Aggroed, who's sitting cards out there at really high prices. I'm hitting the bottom level of the ask. So in my epics, I've got about 2 max BCX worth of cards in most things. I've only got 1 Hero of Beyond because I had to buy those directly. And let's see, my legendaries. I've got 2 to 3. So it seems like what I need to do is yes, as he listed 1 card for sale once and people freaked out, so I don't do that anymore. Yeah, that is for sure. Anytime there's founders selling, that is a different thing. But it's I'm not a founder. I'm just a whale. Yeah, so, when J69 was selling his cards, I was on this show. You can go back and listen to recordings. I was saying, this is the time you want to be buying. And I was right. So anybody who did not buy, or who bought during that time, congratulations. Anybody who ignored my advice, shame on you, basically. And I intentionally did not buy during that time because to me it is more important that the user base gets spread out more than just, making more for myself. Because as we're seeing here, then as players come in, it's going to raise the whole ecosystem. What does RH stand for? This is Rhodium. This is the mastermind group that I'm in. You can look up Rhodium Weekend. So yeah, be greedy when they're scared. Exactly, Krem. So I made a very conscious decision not to buy during that dump, just to increase the health of the user base, and I think that was the right decision. I learned recently that Aggroed was buying some, so I'm a little I'm a little miffed about that, but because he's already has the largest card collection by a lot. But I I don't count him because he's a founder, and Krim remembers. So I remember when you literally said, "Go do this." I'm not going to make sure the game is even more healthy. It's in my best interest alongside the games. Good guy, me. That's right. All right. So So now Untamed is complete, and users are flocking in. We have the SPS announcements. We're getting a whole lot of press from that now that we're expanding the game to Binance Smart Chain, and being interoperable on multiple chains. That's a kind of a big deal. And there have been people in the Discord. I saw somebody today. I forget who it was, but somebody today in the Discord said that talking about lands is like, well, if you look at like Axie Infinity, Splinterlands is way better. So those lands are going for like $2,000 a piece. So is it a good investment now? To buy lands, and then chances are good. So yeah, I mean it's Splinterlands is firing on all cylinders right now, and you can see that in the market cap and the rise in prices and everything. So yeah, these extras that I bought the packs for, again, I didn't really need the cards, so it'll just be extra stuff, and I'll sell it for cheap on the market. And if you want to buy Untamed, then this will be This will kind of be the last chance. Now, I know that there are still a lot of Untamed packs out there. If we go to Leodex, Untamed, and actually I think it's in the token list. Tokens, Untamed. So circulating supply is 182,000. So that's still a lot of packs that are out there that have not been opened. That is, what, 600,000 cards? More than that, actually. 182, 392 times 5. So that's 911,960 cards, BCX, that are included in those packs that have not been opened yet. So there will continue to be supply of Untamed. The real question is, at what rate, Because obviously anybody who hasn't opened packs yet is doing so from some kind of investment standpoint. Because if you wanted to play with them, you just open them. And are people going to sit on them for the SP token bonus, SPS? Yeah. So that is a good question. So if you hold an Untamed pack for SPS airdrop points, you get 600 points per pack. If you open those packs, the expected value of the DEC inside of it, or the DEC values of the cards inside of them is actually 575. So if you open the cards and hold the cards, then you actually lose a little bit of SPS airdrop points. Like Crypto Reaper is saying, technically better to sell for DEC and hold. Right. So the market values of those cards and those packs is higher than the DEC value. So if you're trying to maximize your SPS airdrop, then you want to convert as much as you can to DEC and market prices and hold that DEC because you get 1 point per DEC. So yeah, it all depends on what you want to do, and you have to, each holder has to weigh those different things. Like, well, do I want to get more SPS or more airdrop points, or do I want to get hold this asset for a longer term appreciation play or rentals or whatever? And everybody's got to make their own decision on that. So I think it was last week. I was before the sellout. I was actually in the market buying commons and rares because I realized that on a per weighted BCX basis, meaning that it takes 400 BCX to max a common. It takes, what is it, 80, 115. It's getting alpha confused there. Getting 115 BCX for rares and 46 for epics and 11 for legendaries to get a max level card. So one legendary is 1/11th of a max level card. One common is 1/400th of a max level card. So I weighted those and tried to make it equivalency where, basically one common or one legendary is like 35 commons basically. And, try to balance out the prices there. And when I looked at that, the rares were actually the cheapest on the market. And I was just trying to increase my holdings for eventual lands usage. So I bought up all the rares until they became equivalent with commons, and then I bought both up quite a bit. So I bought like 3,000 BCX worth of just cheap cards on the market with the idea that max cards get 5% bonus. That is true. With the idea that they will be used in lands, eventually. So I think Aaron mentioned today that it might have been in the Slack chat that I still don't know what's going on there. It seems to have slowed down quite a bit. But so land claim was slated for late June, early July. SPS looks like it's going to be pushing that back a bit. He didn't say how much. Maybe that's a question for an AMA this Friday. And but I'm optimistic that at least at the end of July we will see land claiming, and we'll be able to reveal the map. I think a lot is that's going to be a lot of interest. So, already we have people coming from who knows where, coming into the game and being really interested in land, and then they're coming into the Discord and they're saying that, oh, what's the functionality of land, and, what's going on, and we have to, explaining over and over again, it's like, yes, it's going to be this whole ecosystem, lands are going to eventually produce items and spells, those items and spells are going to be used in battle, and, all that stuff. And by the way, none of it exists yet. This is all pre-sale. So once we have the map and you can actually buy plots and you say, this is my plot, then I think that will increase the FOMO on it quite a bit. Now, obviously, all the lands are sold out. So it'll just be secondary market sales. And I know that the team is holding 10,000 for the guild brawls and all this kind of stuff. I know, Matt Clark has two. Matt Clark has two regions. I have two regions, a bunch of guilds. I think total regions is like 86, 84. There was an API call. I forget the exact number. The other thing is Axie's Land even live yet. They sold out like a year ago. I don't know. I've never played it. I have no idea what Axie even really is other than some kind of wax game or something. Yeah, Biz has a bunch of regions. Catland and Kitty Empire. Cryptomancer I think has three. So there's a lot of the regions that are in very strong hands, and they might be rented out, but I doubt they'll be sold anytime soon. So the available supply of lands on that secondary market is going to be low, and the prices I think are just going to be going through the roof. Oh, Crypto Reaper leveled up. I got a drink. Crypto Reaper saying it's in beta, I believe. Saw some videos. You walk around and pick up resources to make cosmetic stuff. Nothing really worth doing. I actually bought some. This is just green tea with peppermint, but I actually bought some hard seltzer last week, which is pretty decent. I started. I don't drink very much. Don't drink alcohol very much, but a little bit now and then can be enjoyable. Look at Jimmy Fallon go there. Woo. Yabba's bragging. Ours will be out in less time since they sold out than theirs. I hope so. I'm still holding you to Christmas. Yeah, White Claw. No, the brand is Truly, and it's pretty good. They got like berry flavors, blueberry and raspberry lime and whatever else. I actually don't like seltzer that much just to drink, but the alcoholic seltzer, not too bad. White Claw, yeah. Holiday 2021 Halo Infinite. Yeah, I've seen some screenshots of Halo Infinite. I don't know. I haven't been doing any console gaming. I've been playing Halo since it came out, like Halo. I had Halo on PC way back when, but I haven't played in probably a couple of years now. So we'll see how that all shakes out. I mean, who's got time for that? I've got, with Splinterlands, I spend time with video games, but I'm also making money at the same time. So that's a lot easier to, yeah, that's the one PC, truly. So that's a lot easier to sell myself. So yeah, that is kind of the state of things. So Untamed is sold out. Lands is sold out. Prices are mooning. And we're looking at lands coming out here. I mean, first stage land claim, plot claims, and then release. And we'll get Chaos Legion here in a few months. They said a couple months, so my guess is August, September, maybe November, or no, not November. August, September, October. One of those three. I think we'll get Chaos Legion, and it'll be a whole new set of, or a whole new edition of cards. And obviously, the people who missed out on Untamed and don't want to spend so much on Untamed cards will be flocking into the new current edition for Splinterlands. So I expect those to sell quickly. I expect for there to be another airdrop mechanic because that was really successful with the Untamed edition, and I expect a larger quantity. Right, so we had 1.5 million in Untamed. The user base has at least doubled since the beginning of Untamed. So I would not be surprised to see like a 3, 4, 5 million print run. And obviously that'll last a good long while, but you got to plan for growth, right? And Splinterlands is doing well in getting the press out. People are coming into the ecosystem. We are about to hit 100,000 registered users. Obviously not all of those are active, but those who do stick around, are pretty involved in the game. Having that monetary incentive is a real good incentive. So, Crypto Reaper and Rondon are arguing Halo editions. So yeah, Halo 2 was the best. I agree with Rondon about that. Halo 3 was still pretty good, but 4 and 5 were, Halo Wars, Reach was, And what if we are the dumb aliens? Maybe so. So, I did want to hit one thing where the price of DEC could come unhinged. And the reason I say that is because there are two basic mechanics for DEC. So on the low end, if the DEC drops low enough, you can buy DEC at the market. You can redeem it in Splinterlands for for dice or packs or potions or skins, and then you get that par value arbitrage. And when was in print, there were many times when, DEC dropped to 600 Splintoshis or so, and it was profitable even at those current market prices to buy the DEC, go and buy the packs of Untamed, then open the Untamed packs and sell the cards, and you came out ahead. Especially since card sales are now in DEC, so you could arbitrage that repeatedly. It really depended on how many potions you had, but so that's on the low end. On the high end, you can burn cards and sell the DEC, but that's not working right now because the price of cards is going up. So why would you want to cut yourself off that way? On the other high end, there is an arbitrage where the DEC inside of the packs, which for Untamed average DEC expected value is 575 per pack. If that gets to be greater than the $2 that you spend for the pack, or the $1.74 with a bulk discount, then you could just repeat that. You could arbitrage that until DEC drops. So that happens at about 4,000 Splintoshis. So those were the real brackets. 600 on the low end, 650 maybe, 4,000 on the high end. And the goal with DEC has been to have that stable-ish coin right around 1,000 Splintoshis. But those mechanisms are no longer available because there's no in-print editions. There's nowhere you can buy packs, from at least from the game at par value. So it's possible that DEC can rise, and it'll rise, even beyond the 4,000 Splintoshi level. Obviously, once the new edition is released, then that mechanism kicks back in, and that will reestablish those limits. But between now and then, we could see some kind of wild gyrations in the DEC market. I'm not so confident that we will see that, simply because the people who would be buying up the DEC supply know that Chaos Legion is coming and that it'll revert itself. So there's kind of a future expected value that will mitigate buying pressure now, but that's not going to be 100%. Certainly not all market actors are going to be that forward looking or planning on being in that time horizon. So it is interesting to see what will happen with the DEC market. So right now, on top of that, DEC is one of the most efficient ways to get SPS airdrop points, because you get that 1-for-1 credit, and for every 1 million airdrop points or 1 million DEC, then we're looking at 200-ish SPS, and then you have to ask yourself, like, well, 200 SPS at 1.8 cents is what? 200 times 0.018 times 365. So if you hold a million DEC and you get 200 SPS for that, then the expected value of holding that is $1,300. Assuming that 1.8 cent pricing of SPS remains constant. And let's be real, a governance token on Binance Smart Chain of an existing successful, thousands of players, millions of dollars of assets game, chances are that's going to be desirable in the wider crypto market. So I personally am pretty bullish on SPS. I don't think it'll stay at 1.8 cents. And obviously it's not even starting there, but that's just the private sale price. It's the only number we have at the moment. So if I can hold $1,000 worth of DEC and I can get $1,300 worth of airdrops over the next year, then still have the $1,000 at the end of it because you have the DEC, then why not, right? So that becomes really attractive, and especially during the times when DEC is available, SPS is available, and Chaos Legion is not. So that is an additional gyration on the DEC market that we didn't have before. So it's going to be interesting times for this inter-edition period, and we'll keep in mind that cards can earn additional rewards during the whole time as well. That is certainly true. You can you battle, you earn battle DEC, and you get season rewards, and like the SPS ranked battle reward pool. Yep, that's going to be a big one. I was actually looking at that, and obviously a lot is going to depend on the exact specifics. But if we look at, let me log back into my regular account here. If we look at the leaderboard, I already submitted my fray because I'm a good guild member let's look at last season here for Diamond. Oh, I ended up at 98. It's all right. So, Yasik, Bubkey, Dash, Grand High Witch, Shu Manchu, these are all top players. We see these names over and over and over again. So, if you're looking to stake SPS, then you're going to want to go on one of these guys. But the more people who do, the less effective your marginal SPS staking will be. So, it's going to be very dynamic, I guess, is really the bottom line. But, SPS rewards all over the place. DEC, interesting market happenings all over the place. So it's gonna be an interesting time. And then once Chaos Legion launches, we're gonna see if they do 100,000 kind of airdrops like we saw in Untamed, the first two are just gonna blow out the door. Basically, that's my prediction anyway. So we'll excuse me. So we will have to wait and see how that goes. But getting SPS out here in July, that's going to be super exciting. I'm super excited. If you are needing Untamed, well, actually any kind of cards, whether it's Untamed or Alpha or Beta, I don't think they're getting any cheaper. Obviously when Chaos Legion comes in, those will be the cheapest because we'll have a current supply there. But, Untamed especially is going to have uses because, Yaba has told us that they're going to have 2 ranked ladders. Instead of just having a single ranked right here, we're going to have, wild ranked and we're going to have modern ranked. And modern ranked is only going to be Untamed and Chaos Legion. So, and that'll have a whole separate DEC pool of inflation to draw from. And, that additional inflation will decrease any SPS, or will decrease any DEC, wild market swings as well. So, it's exciting times. And dice and new reward cards. Okay, fair enough. And dice and new reward cards. How are dice doing? So we hit the next airdrop, which was the 2-gun Pete. Yeah, he just said modern will have dice cards. So we are 42,000 away from the next airdrop, and that's the only thing to buy right now. So those might go quicker than we've seen before. Every card with the Untamed frame, that's how you can easily tell. So what he means by that is if you go and look at a card, you can see the frame around the character, that with the little rips kind of thing in Untamed at the top of the border, that's the Untamed border. And if we look over here, let's look at beta. So beta frames look like this, and alpha frames, if you have any alpha, let's look at Selenia. Alpha frames look like that, but you can only buy them with DEC. That is true, Paul. Very true. So that's the way to quickly tell editions apart, is by the borders around the characters. The artwork style has changed quite a bit over the years. That's kind of crazy to say over the years now, but it has been 3 years since Splinterlands launched. All the OGs, we were buying packs and trading cards before there was even a game. It was just cards. There was some artwork, you trade them back and forth, that's it. There was a game coming. And we all spent way too much money on packs then. When I see what's happening now, I think back to those times 3 years ago, and there were guys around that aren't around anymore. Like the main one I'm thinking of is Thomas G. So Thomas G was a pack stripper. So he would buy thousands and thousands of packs, and there was only 200,000 packs available for alpha. And he would open them all up, and he would sell the good ones, and make his profit that way. And then he just dumped all the lower price stuff, just at bulk sales with very little price consciousness. And I'm thinking, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it's been 3 years. Crypto's gone through a lot of gyrations since then. So hopefully he's, done well for himself. But man, the amount of money that went through his hands that is now worth so much more, 30, 40 times more. It's just amazing. But, I picked up a lot of cheap cards from him, so I appreciate that. Alpha packs cost around 1 to 2 Steam at that time, yeah. 300,000 alpha? Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, because 900,000 was 3 times. Yes, 300,000, not 200,000. Steve R says he remembers first joining this Discord and asking if this project was real. Yeah, but man, so I just hope wherever he is, Thomas G is doing well, and he's not hating life because of all the money he could have had. Because I mean, like in my card collection for alphas is worth what? Is worth $95,000 apparently. So this is just the alpha filters. I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he hasn't committed suicide or anything. So that 95, I didn't spend more than max 10 on all of that, and probably a lot less, probably more like 5. So it's when you don't have to be right once in life. Splinterlands was something I was right about, which is nice. Too Curious is saying, today I decided to put some reward commons on the market to see if they would sell. I mean, the ones that when I used to get and think, oh, great, another vampire, another mech. Now they're selling for 50 cents and they're being bought. Yeah, market activity's been going through the roof. Agrod's been posting stuff in the Mavs channel Discord, about market activity, and we're seeing tens of thousands of transactions and tens of thousands of dollars. That's fairly new. It over the past year, it's been relatively common to see 10, 15, sometimes 20,000 transactions, but the dollar value was like 5 to 10,000 for the most part. But now we're seeing, both those numbers being pretty high. In fact, let's look at the market. So right now, 24-hour volume, we're at 16,000 sales and $20,000. So this is having the dollar amount being higher than the sales amount is a fairly new thing, so that we're over $1 per average sale. And you could buy them for 1 cent at one point. Yeah, I bought a ton of commons for 1 cent, 2 cents, 3 cents. In fact, during the alpha days, one of the guys who went off and made the space game, Next Colony, they developed just a market making bot where you could buy and sell cards. And I was trying to defend, I think, 4 cents on commons. Might have been 5, I don't know, somewhere around there. I was saying I'll buy any common for 4 cents. And I ran out of money because people were just selling them so hard and the prices went lower. So, it's just craziness. And now, alpha commons are just so ridiculous. And, not to toot my own horn, but I will toot my own horn because you can look back 3 years on Hive or on Steam, and you can see my old posts and videos talking about how alpha commons are being underpriced, and the market is not appreciating the limitation of how much there are. And the same thing is happening in Untamed, but people are starting to recognize things a little bit. In fact, let's take a look at Untamed commons on the market and see what we're dealing with here. Untamed, regular, common. So there's still, last week I was buying these for 3 cents, 3.5 cents. And now, and these are the cheapest ones. Now they're up to 4.3, 4.6 cents. So, they're starting to realize that. But what I think is still not priced in is their utility in lands. Lands is going to take an enormous amount of cards. So I have no information that other people don't have. So there's no special insider knowledge. But, knowing how the lands is structured, with the different types and the different allocations with the, the common, or the overflowing, and whatever the terms are. Let's go to Splinter cards. Lands. This page is just great, I gotta say, for T-Hawks or T-Hawks, however you pronounce his name. Having all these different varieties, and then we have the natural, the magical, the occupied. My rough guesstimation is that there's 150,000 plots. Let's say 2/3 of them require cards to be staked on them in order to be more productive. So that's 100,000 plots. I'm guesstimating 3 cards per staking, per plot staking. So that's 300,000 cards that need to be put to work on those 100,000 plots that need monsters and summoners. Now, like every other thing in Splinterlands, there's going to be a diminishing return. So as you get a higher BCX, gold foil, whatever, you're going to get more production out of a plot, but chances are that there's going to be a bend in the curve where even though you're getting more in absolute terms, you're getting less, per BCX that you're staking into that plot. So my guess is that we're looking at Silver League levels for optimal production per BCX, and which is in line with how the leagues are structured and the rewards there. So that's why I think Silver is going to be the place. So if we're talking about 25 commons per, times 3 times 100,000, that is what 3 times, or 25 times 3 times 100,000. That is 7.5 million BCX, or equivalent BCX, because it could be legendary cards that require less, but you know, the equivalent of 7.5 million common cards. And you know, that's just a wild guess. I mean, fundamentally, I just told you my rationale, but I think order of magnitude is correct. The numbers will obviously be different, but in terms of ballparks, I think we're in the ballpark. It might be 3 million, it might be 10 million. It's going to be a lot. So what I think is going to happen is that when lands are released, it's going to basically suck up all of the excess card supply. So basically, the market will be empty, you know, more or less. And then, you know, just like we're seeing now, what is going to happen when supply gets cut off and new users are still coming in? Well, they need cards. Prices are going to go up, you know, and you know, if those cards are at work in the lands, then they can't be at work in the game, you know. So even if those new users want to rent cards, there will still be less available. And yeah, too curious, if land takes so many cards, there will be no cards. That's what I'm saying. So obviously Yeba and Aggro, they're going to do their best to balance that out, so it's not as extreme as I'm painting it. But in terms of relative ratios, we're going to see a lot less available as a percentage of the total cards in the game available in the market. And I don't think that change in supply is being priced in by people on the commons markets yet, because I think these prices should be much higher. And you know, time will tell if I'm right, but you know, I obviously I think I am, because why else would I think it? But amazingly, that is actually the end of the show. We're coming up on the hour, so thanks everybody for coming by, and it's been fun. So let's do it again next week, same time, same place, Monster Maverick Show.